Hello everyone and welcome back to Mikebaba-CATIA. I'm thrilled to have you here. In today's lesson 19, we are diving deep into one of the most essential tools in part design, the Edge Fillet. We will cover everything from simple constant radii to advanced propagation modes and variable fillets. Let's get started.
I got this magic in my fingertips, designing dreams with every click. Shapes and wonders coming to life. With CATIA I cut through strife. In my mind the future's clear. No more doubts, no more fear. Crafting visions in 3D. CATIA's the key, don't you see? I can reach the sky so high. Build my dreams, no need to try. With every tool I sculpt my fate. CATIA helps me innovate. Every line precise and true.
Hello everyone. So far, we have discussed items from the Sketchbase feature toolbar. With the tools available there, we could create different solid shapes from the sketches we had drawn. There are also auxiliary tools here. With these tools, we can modify and complete the created solid shapes. The tools used for these are located in the Dress Up Features toolbar. The first tools we will look at are the Fillets group tools. Note that before using these tools, we must have an initial solid shape. Let's assume we have a shape like this now. I activate the Fillets toolbar. The first tool in this set is called Edge Fillet. I click on it to activate it. The Edge Fillet definition window opens. This window has two main sections for settings. The first option in the first section is called Radius. In the box next to it, the number 5 is written by default. Note that the software remembers the last radius number entered. Therefore, your radius number may not be 5. There are also two buttons next to the radius box. By default, the option set based on radius is active. The button before it allows you to define the fillet based on chord. Which uses a different calculation method. The second option in this section is Objects to Fillet. The box next to it is now blue and is ready to accept the edges we want to round. I click on one of the edges of the shape. To see it better, I change the number 5 to 15. The fillet preview is shown on the shape. The third option has a few different modes. This option is called Propagation. The default mode is currently Tangency. I will keep the default settings for now. Without touching any other settings, I click on OK. The selected edge is rounded. I activate the Edge Fillet command again. This time I select an edge next to the previous one. I had only selected one edge, but you can see that the software also selected another edge. The edge we selected is shown with a solid red line. Additional edges added by the software are shown with a dashed red line. The reason goes back to the type of propagation we have selected. Since we are in the tangent mode now, in addition to the selected edge, any other edge that is tangent to it will also be selected. The second edge is now tangent to the selected edge because of the previous fillet. Therefore, it is also selected. Now I change the propagation type to minimal. You can see that the second edge is no longer selected. Only the edge we clicked on remains selected. I click on Cancel. I activate the Edge Fillet command again. I set the propagation to Tangency mode. Now, instead of the edge, I'll click on the surface of my volume. You can see that both the side edges are selected. Now suppose we have a volume like this. I activate Edge Fillet again. I set the fillet value to 5. I set the propagation mode to intersection. I click on the cylinder body. Very important. First set the propagation, then specify the object to fillet. In this case, the software finds all the intersection edges of the cylinder with the opposite solid shapes. I approve the changes. The intersection edges of the cylinder on both sides are rounded. Now assume the cylinder also intersects with two other shapes. Note that these two features are in separate sketches. I activate the Edge Fillet command again. If I want to fillet all the surfaces that the cylinder intersects with, I set the propagation option to intersection. I press the OK button. It can be seen that all the surfaces that intersect with the cylinder have been rounded along the intersection lines. But if I only want some of these surfaces to be rounded at the intersection, I set the propagation option to intersection with selected feature. An extra option named selected feature is created. I click in the box next to it. The box turns blue and is ready for our selection. I select my desired surfaces. Note that there is a symbol in the shape of a coin bag next to the box. What is this? When you make a few selections, for example, in this last selection, I selected 2 objects. Look, the selected box says 2 elements. This means that 2 elements are currently selected. For viewing and managing the selected elements, I now click on the coin bag icon. A window named Selected Feature opens. Inside its box, you see the names of the 2 elements. I click on Path 4 inside the box so that it turns blue. Below the box, 2 buttons, Remove and Replace, appear. I can either remove or replace Path 4. If I click on Replace button, the element I had selected turns orange. The software waits for me to click on another element. By clicking on the other element, the first element is removed from the selection list and the new element replaces it. If I want to remove Path 4, I click on the Remove button. It is seen in the list that there is only one selected element. I approve it. Now you see the result. I click on the Edge Fillet command again. Its settings window opens. The second part of this window is called Variation. Until now, the fillets we have created have had a constant radius throughout their path. Look, there is a button in this section called Constant. This button is currently pressed and active. But we can create a fillet in a way that it has different radii along its path. To do this, I activate the Variable button. Now 2 options are active in this section. The first option is called Points. In the box next to it, we must define points. At these points, we can define different radii. The second option is called Variation. We must tell the software how to move from one radius to another. In other words, with the options in this section, we determine the shape of the path between 2 different radii. By default, the connection method is set to cubic. But we also have a linear mode. In the cubic mode, the shape of the connection path is curved. In the linear mode, the shape of the connection path will be linear. In the first part, in the Object to Fillet section, I must first select an edge. The software itself selects the 2 endpoints of the edge and shows them in green. If you look closely, it also writes the radius value next to them in red. Now both radii are the same with a value of 5 mm. I double click on one of these radii. Its parameter definition window opens. The value of this radius is written in the box next to the value option. The box is blue. Without doing anything else on the keyboard, I type my desired radius value. For example, I type the number 15. I click on OK in this window. Now the radius of this point has changed to 15. I rotate the shape to see the change better. I click on the preview button. You see the rounded shape of the edge as it is set. Now in the variation option, I select the linear mode. I click on the preview button again. The shape of the path between the 2 points became linear. I approve it. The fillet is created. I activate the Edge Fillet tool again. In the variations section, I set the fillet mode to cubic. Now I select an edge. 2 points are shown at the 2 ends of the edge. I click in the box next to point. The box turns blue. I move my mouse cursor over the selected edge. When the mouse cursor turns into a hand, I click. You can see that another point is created. In the box next to point, you now see 3 elements. Now I click on the coin back icon next to this box. The 3 created points are listed in it. I close the window without doing anything. All 3 radii now have the same size. I double click on the radii at the 2 ends of the edge one by one. In the parameter definition window, I change their size. Now we have defined 3 points on the edge. Each of these 3 points has a radius. Their connection method is also cubic. I click on the preview button. You can see the shape of the edge. I click on OK. The fillet is created. Well, today's lesson is finished here. Please watch the lesson twice. On the second time, practice with me. Good luck. Goodbye until the next lesson.
Let's build the future